I'm Jason.
And I'm Caesar.
And we're excited to be here today to talk to you about thread identification process. Today, we're going to show you an example of how to identify a mated angle thread using a 1/2-inch wire braid hose assembly. First, identify how it seals. When you look at this one, down in the coupling, you can see that there's a cone in there, and that tells you that it has a mated angle sealing surface. The threads will bring the two sealing surfaces of the male and female together. Remember, for common North American thread ends, if the seal is on the outside, it is male, and if it is on the inside, it is female. In this particular one, the cone is on the inside of the termination, so that tells you that it's a female thread. After the visual identification, you'll need to measure the mating angles. This is done using the thread angle gauge in the Pocket ID kit. This particular one, as you put the 37° right on the cone seat, you can see that it's parallel to the center line of the hose. This tells you that that angle on the inside is a 37°, making this a JIC connection. To determine the threads on the inside of the female swivel nut, you'll need to use your thread identification gauge. You need to find the one that fits into the threads very precisely so that it'll tell you how many threads per inch this nut has in it. This one happens to be 16 threads per inch. So that you can identify a wider range of thread end types, Gates offers the North American thread end gauge and also the international thread gauge, so you can look at the different thread sizes for seal types throughout the world. So now that you know that you're dealing with a female swivel, so the female seal type, the nut spins, so that makes it a swivel, and then a JIC connection. So you know you're dealing with a female JIC connection that also has 16 threads per inch. So let's take a look at the thread ID kit for JIC connections. That matches up with a -8, so this termination is an 8 FJX. In addition to using the pocket guide, you can also use the thread ID kit. So once you've determined that this is a JIC connection or a 37°, you can take your plug gauges and find out which one screws in properly. And this one is a 3/4 inch 16 thread, which matches up again with the 8 FJX. So just another tool to help you identify that thread termination. Now that we've identified this coupling, we need to identify the coupling on the other end of the assembly. We're staying with a similar mated angle connection on this end as well, and as you can see that the cone is on the outside, so this is a male connection. So if you take the gauge from earlier and match that up with the 37°, you can see that it sits in there very nice and snug, making that cone a 37°, meaning that this termination is a male JIC. You can either use your thread gauge to determine the threads per inch, just like we did before. So this is 16 threads per inch. You can also use the gauge from the thread ID kit, which is actually a plug and cap gauge, which allows you to thread over the top of the male threads to determine the thread on that, which is also that 3/4 16s. This information tells you that this matches up with an 8 male JIC termination. So between the catalog, the plug and cap kit, or the thread ID kit, you can become an expert in thread identification. For more information or additional training, contact your Gates Hydraulics sales rep today.
Hello friends, my name is Lalit Ahuja. My company, Hydraulics and Pneumatics, part of Ahuja Group, is the authorized dealer for Gates hydraulic hoses. We have a state-of-the-art plant for manufacturing fittings and crimping hoses with Uniflex Germany machines, and every hose is tested before it is dispatched. We look forward to working with you. Thank you.